I'm your host, Manuel Rodriguez, the first Vice President of the HISD Board of Education. HISD believes parents must play an important role in the district's effort to educate students. Parent-teacher association and organizations are a great way for parents to volunteer at their child's school. With us now are two extremely active HISD parents, Rosemary Herrera and Rogelio Guevara, who want to share their experiences in the PTA and encourage other parents to volunteer at HISD as well. Hello, Rosemary and Rogelio. Thank you for joining us today on Faces and Places. I understand that both of you are parents and are involved with the PTAs. Why is it so important for parents to be involved with PTA? Rosemary?
Thank you. It's very important because it can bridge the communication gap between parents and administrators and children. And sometimes children and parents are not communicating well either. They're given information from the school and they don't relay it when they get home. So it's very helpful, and I think parents, the majority of parents for high school, where my daughter graduated from, are Spanish speaking, so they're very comfortable with a bilingual, another parent.
Well, let me say that PTA is Parent-Teacher Association.
Yes.
And so there's very much, the need for communication between the parents and teachers is crucial to understand what the students are doing with the classroom. Rogelio, I understand that you have two children in middle school and you've been a volunteer for about 8 years. Why do you see the involvement of volunteering with PTA so important?
Well, at the beginning, like we just say that now, like a PTA association is the communication between school, parents, and the community. So we are working with them all together to bring better results for everybody, you know, by the school and the house.
And when the parents get involved in their children's education, you know, it's not just the responsibility of the teacher. Parents are the first teachers that the children have.
Yes.
And so as parents, because I'm a parent too, it was always important to talk with the teacher and let the teacher know that you're there to help her educate her child, or our child. So now that your daughter has graduated from FIR, what brings you back? What keeps you motivated for helping?
The same reasons. It's not personal as far as just for my child. For all children, all parents need to know and need to understand, because we have a constant influx of parents coming in from pretty much, well, immigrants. So they don't understand what the rules are here, and they come in at any level, for a grade level for their child. So,
Rogelio, do you see the same thing?
I would like to approach this time, you know, like when, for example, if the parents, they see any problem at the campus or with the teachers in the classroom, they can come to the school. But you know, the first thing they can do, they can come to the school, but like really friend with the teachers, like really friendly with school staff, because it's really, really important. Not just because we as parents, we have rights, but we have two responsibilities.
Right, and a lot of times the principals or the teachers, if they don't know who the parents are, they don't know how to reach out and help the children. They can only do so much within the classroom. So it's crucial for the achievement of the child to see that their parents are involved. Mm-hmm. Now, you got involved at what grade level with your children, Rogelio?
Well, now this coming year I will be on 7th and 8th grade. But since long time ago I was since pre-K to all the way up to.
And when you first came into the school system as a volunteer, did you know the rules?
Well, you know, every school they pass out the handbook? The handbook, and you as a parent, you have to read that book. Mm-hmm. That way you know what are the rules to follow at school. So, and that's really good for the parents to do that, because that way those kids, they can follow the rules and they cannot be in problems in the future.
Rosemary, why is PTA so important now that some of the funding that we're getting from the state has been reduced? What does the PTA do to help the school?
Well, not so much the school itself, but the children. We're advocates for the children. And that's one of our themes. And so we look for funding in fundraisers to set up scholarships, hand out scholarships to so many students that graduate from high school. So what it is, we have to start with, say, a foundation. We start at elementary, leading them up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why all schools are involved, elementary and middle school, and then high school, of course.
Rogelio, in your fundraising efforts, what are some of your most, some of the projects that you're most proud of?
Well, we have to go sometimes out to the community to look for those for that money, for those projects, you know, and we've been working with kids and doing festivities or events to get that money, to make that money possible for them.
Okay, and I understand that the money that you raise goes for the school for all children, not just to help one or
for
two.
everybody.
Right.
Because we as PTA volunteers, all those children, they are our children.
Being a PTA member or a PTA officer, and I believe you were a PTA president?
Yes.
How do those leadership skills help you transform your leadership in the school to the community? Rosemary?
Basically, because it's a name with a position, and it's always noticeable because everybody or people look up to you. You're in that position. People selected you for that position. They selected you to represent them. So when you go into the community, you're received very well. So that helps in our efforts.
So have you been able to take other opportunities being in the PTA of making trips representing the school, maybe to Austin or other places?
As a group, yes. We went to legislature last year and trying to keep the budget from falling too low.
Mm-hmm.
So we were, there were a lot of parents there that went.
And so, Rogelio, what advice would you give other parents of why they should get involved in PTA and involvement with their school?
Well, my advice is I would like to invite them now because the school year is just around the corner, and I would like to invite them to get involved with their kids, checking backpacks, homeworks every day. I would mention like the same thing like I mentioned last year in August. I don't want to see people running on April, because April will be too late to fix problems. Now is the time to start to fix everything, checking backpacks, homework, to get involved in the school. I would like to invite them again to go into the campuses, but not just when the kids have a problem. I would like to invite them to go in there to let the people who know who they are, let the principal, school staff to know they are ready and willing to help with their kids' education, and not only their kids, every kid in the campus.
Those are very good words of advice for all parents and for the administrators to make friends of the parents and welcome parents when they come to school, mm-hmm. because we as parents always want the best education for our children, just as the principals and teachers want our children to learn as best they can. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Okay,
thank you for
welcome,
inviting us
you.
and for giving us the opportunity to come and talk to you.